For a long time, I honestly believed I was just the boring one. That's the word my fiancé used anyway. He didn't say it straight to my face at first. He wrapped it up in a joke like he always did, as if hiding cruelty behind a laugh made it harmless. But the night he joked about it at his parents' house was the night everything began to crack. It was a Sunday dinner at his mom and dad's place, the kind we'd had 100 times. Pot roast on the table, his dad complaining about his golf swing, his mom fussing over whether the potatoes were too dry. His younger brother Liam had just left to drive back to his own apartment. Liam's the type who shows up on time, helps stack chairs without being asked, and leaves before anyone notices they're tired. My fiancé Ethan and I were on cleanup duty in the kitchen. He was scraping plates, humming along to some pop song. I was at the sink, sleeves rolled up, rinsing off gravy that had cooled into a film. It felt like any other night until he said casually, almost cheerfully, "Babe, you know what would be hilarious?" I turned off the water. "What? You should totally date my brother instead." I actually laughed at first. "What are you talking about?" "I'm serious." He grinned. "You two are basically the same person. You're both so boring. You love your sad, heavy books. He's obsessed with those war documentaries nobody else understands. You both meal prep on Sundays. You both drink your coffee black, no sugar, like 60-year-olds. You go to bed before 11 like clockwork. You're basically a spreadsheet in human form, and so is he." He said it like a stand-up bit he'd been working on. I stood there holding a wet plate, my hands starting to shake just a little. "So why are you with me then?" He waved a soapy hand, dismissive. "Relax. I'm just saying, personality-wise, you and Liam make more sense. I need someone fun, someone with energy. You two total homebodies. It's just funny if you think about it." Funny. We had been together 4 years, engaged for 8 months. We had a venue reserved, invitations, design deposits paid to a photographer I could barely afford, and he was standing in his parents' kitchen telling me I made more sense with his brother because I was basically a spreadsheet. "Are you breaking up with me?" I asked, my voice smaller than I wanted. He snorted. "God, Ava, why do you have to make everything so dramatic? It's a joke. I'm being honest." "Honesty is important, right?" He went back to scraping plates like he hadn't just knocked the air out of my chest. On the drive home, he scrolled through his phone in the passenger seat, laughing at memes and DMing friends. I drove in silence, white-knuckling the steering wheel while my mind replayed his words on a loop. "You should date my brother. You're both so boring. It's weird you're with me and not him." He didn't notice I barely spoke the whole 20 minutes. That night, he fell asleep quickly, or pretended to. I lay on my back, staring at the ceiling, feeling that weird electric buzzing of a panic attack that never quite reaches full volume. If he thinks I'm boring, why is he marrying me? If he thinks I belong with his brother, why is he keeping me like a placeholder? I rolled over, facing the dim glow of my phone on the nightstand. My thumb hovered over a dozen apps before I opened my messages and scrolled to Liam's name. I hesitated. Was I really about to text my fiancé's younger brother at midnight about this? Apparently, yes. Me, "Hey, are you awake, Liam?" "Yeah, what's up?" "Everything okay?" Just that question, "Everything okay?" made my throat tighten. Ethan never asked that after dropping a grenade like he had earlier. He had two moods, charming or annoyed. Concern didn't really exist in between. Me? "Can we grab coffee sometime this week? There's something I need to run by you, and it's about Ethan." Liam. "Oh, sure. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. at the cafe on Morrison. Me." "That works. Thanks." I locked my phone and stared into the dark. Ethan snored softly beside me. I pushed my hand under my pillow to stop it from shaking. The next afternoon, I got to the cafe early and picked a table in the corner. The place smelled like roasted beans and cinnamon. People with laptops tapped away as if their lives were neatly outlined in bullet points. I felt like someone had taken a red pen to mine. Liam walked in right on time like I knew he would. He spotted me, raised a hand, and came over with that almost shy smile he has. "Hey," he said, sliding into the seat opposite me. "You look worried." "That's one word for it." I tried to smile and failed. "Coffee first?" He ordered his usual black coffee, no sugar. I suddenly heard Ethan's voice in my head again. "You both drink black coffee like 60-year-olds." I swallowed. Once the drinks arrived, Liam leaned forward. Okay, hit me. What did Ethan do? I pulled my phone from my bag and opened the note I'd typed the night before. I had written down word for word what Ethan said in the kitchen, terrified I'd convince myself I'd imagined it. I'm just going to read this, I said, because if I try to paraphrase, I'll soften it. Liam nodded slowly. I read every line that you're both boring the spreadsheet joke, the I need someone fun. You two are made for each other, that you should date my brother instead. As I spoke, I watched Liam's expression morph from confusion to disbelief to a kind of quiet, simmering anger. He actually said that. He asked when I finished, his jaw clenched in his parents' kitchen, like it was the funniest thing he'd ever come up with. Liam exhaled long and slow, staring into his coffee. Wow, that's messed up. He says it's a joke, I added quickly, as if I needed to defend Ethan out of habit. He always says it's a joke. Yeah, Liam said bitterly. The classic, it's just a joke defense. He's been doing that my whole life. He says something awful, then acts like you're crazy for being hurt. I blinked. He does that to you, too. Liam let out a short laugh with no humor in it. Ava, I'm the little brother he's always needed to feel smarter than funnier than more interesting than. Growing up, if I wanted to read or watch documentaries or stay in instead of going to some party, I was boring Grandpa lame. Our parents would roll their eyes and say, "Oh, that's just brothers teasing." But it never stopped. He glanced up at me. I'm really sorry he said that to you. You don't deserve that. Something about those words made my eyes sting. I looked down at my coffee, watching the surface ripple as my hand trembled. No one has actually said that to me yet. I admitted that I don't deserve it. Mostly I've been telling myself I'm overreacting. You're not, Liam said firmly. You're his fiancé. He's supposed to make you feel chosen, not like you're some placeholder he could swap out for his brother. I let out a shaky laugh. Thanks for putting it so bluntly. He softened a little. How are you feeling, really? That question landed harder than I expected. Ethan never asked that after one of his honest jokes. He'd just tell me I was too sensitive and move on. I don't know, I said. Stupid, embarrassed. Like if he secretly thinks I'm this dull, practical person who belongs with someone else. Why is he marrying me? Why did he propose? Liam was quiet for a moment. Because being with you looks good on paper, maybe. You're stable, dependable. You keep his life organized. He gets to be the fun one because you're the one holding everything together behind the scenes. I stared at him. It was unsettling how accurately he'd summarized my role in the relationship. Has he always been like this? I asked. Pretty much. Liam shrugged. He was the star, the life of the party. I was the boring one. Good grades, quiet hobbies, early nights. I got used to people laughing at me for it, but I also... He paused, searching for words. I kind of like my boring life. It makes me happy. I felt something loosen in my chest. Me too, I said softly. I like my quiet routines, my spreadsheets, my meal prep. I like going to bed early. I just hate feeling like those things make me less. They don't, he said, meeting my eyes. They make you you. For a second, the noise of the cafe faded. It was just me and him and that small, steady reassurance I hadn't realized I was starving for. I cleared my throat. I didn't tell you this to start anything weird, I said quickly. I just thought you should know since he dragged you into it. And I needed someone who knows him to tell me I'm not insane. You're not insane, Liam said again. You're in a relationship with someone who doesn't realize words have consequences. He hesitated, then added quietly, whatever you decide about the wedding, I'm here as your friend. No expectations. The word friend should have felt simple safe. But there was an undercurrent in it that scared me and comforted me at the same time. On the walk back to my car, I kept hearing Ethan's version of me boring spreadsheet substitute and Liam's version stable dependable myself. One of them was supposed to love me enough to marry me. The other was just my fiancé's boring younger brother. And yet, for the first time in a long time, I felt more seen in a 2-hour coffee with Liam than I had in 4 years with Ethan. I drove home with a sick feeling in my stomach and a single terrifying thought looping in my mind. If this is what my fiancé really thinks of me, why am I still planning to marry him? For the next few days, I moved around my own life like a guest. Everything looked the same. My color-coded planner on the counter. The jar of coffee beans. Liam and I both preferred Ethan's gym bag tossed by the door. But something had shifted. Or maybe something had finally snapped. Ethan barely noticed. He was suddenly busy work happy hour guys' night pickup basketball, a coworker's birthday party. 3 nights in a row, he came home after midnight, smelling of perfume that definitely wasn't mine. I didn't ask. I didn't even have the energy to pretend I cared. Instead, I found myself checking my phone more than usual, not for Ethan, but for Liam. Sometimes it was a picture of a book he thought I'd like. Sometimes a screenshot of an article titled, "The Lost Art of Being Quiet." Sometimes a dry joke about his coworkers. It felt easy natural, like breathing in a room where the windows were finally open. Then one Thursday, Liam texted, "Are you free for dinner tonight?" Actual dinner. Not family dinner, where dad interrogates everyone about their job security. I stared at the message longer than I should have. Me, yes, just tell me where. He picked a small Italian place near the river. Not trendy, not loud, the kind of restaurant where the tables are close enough to overhear someone's heartbreak, but not close enough to feel responsible for it. When he walked in, he looked nervous in a way that made me nervous. "You came," he said, almost in relief. "Of course," I said, hoping my voice didn't betray how fast my pulse was going. We ordered simple dishes, pasta for him, risotto for me, and talked. Really talked. Not about the wedding, not about Ethan, not about drama books, movies, childhood stories, travel dreams, the kind of life we both secretly wanted. Quiet museums, small cafes, sitting on a balcony, with tea instead of screaming at clubs at 2 a.m. It was startling, the overlap. Halfway through dessert, he set down his fork and looked at me with a seriousness I wasn't prepared for. "Can I ask you something?" he said. My stomach tightened. "Okay. Are you actually going through with the wedding?" The question hit brutally hard because I had been avoiding the answer. I stared at my plate. Every time I imagine walking down the aisle, I feel nothing. A long pause. "That's not normal, right?" "No," Liam said softly. "That's really not normal." He didn't reach for my hand, didn't lean closer, didn't try to play hero. He just listened with a patience that felt foreign after 4 years with Ethan. "What are you going to do?" he asked. "I don't know," I whispered. "But I think I have to make a decision soon." Liam hesitated, then exhaled, bracing himself. "Ava, I care about you. More than I should, more than I ever expected to." My breath hitched. He looked almost pained admitting it. "And I know that's complicated, and I won't push anything. But I needed you to know." I swallowed hard. My voice trembled. "I feel it too." His eyes widened just slightly, just enough. "But I need to end things with Ethan first," I added, properly the right way. "Of course," he said immediately. "I would never ask you to do anything else." Silence fell between us, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was heavy, alive, electric, with the things neither of us could say. When he walked me to my car after dinner, he didn't touch me, not even a hand on my arm. But the space between us felt charged, like it was holding its breath. "Good night, Ava," he said. "Good night, Liam." I sat in my car for a full minute before starting the engine. My chest felt tight. My eyes burned. When I drove home, Ethan's car was already in the driveway. The porch light was off. The house was silent. Inside, he was in bed scrolling through his phone with the blue light reflecting off his face. He didn't look up when I entered. "You're late," he said. "Where were you?" "Dinner," I answered simply. "With who?" "Does it matter?" He rolled his eyes. "You're in a mood again." I looked at him, really looked at him, and felt absolutely nothing. No love, no anger, just emptiness. He turned his attention back to his phone, tapping away, smiling at something on the screen. I stood in the doorway, watching him for a long moment. And right then, right in that quiet, suffocating moment, I knew the wedding was over. Not because of Liam, but because of Ethan. Because of what he'd revealed so effortlessly. because of what he'd never bothered to see. I walked to the kitchen, made myself a cup of tea, and sat at the table in the dark. I decided tomorrow I would end this. I woke earlier than usual the next morning, before the alarm, before the sun fully rose, like my body knew what was coming. The house was still quiet in that heavy, anticipatory way that feels almost like a warning. I moved slowly, deliberately, making coffee, setting 2 mugs on the counter, even though I knew only one would be used. My stomach churned as I heard Ethan's footsteps thump down the hallway. He walked into the kitchen, hair messy, shirt wrinkled, scrolling through his phone, as always. "Morning," he mumbled, barely glancing at me. "We need to talk," I said. He smirked, still not looking up. "Wow, that's original. What now?" I took a slow breath, steadying myself. "I'm calling off the wedding." He froze. The phone slipped from his hand and landed on the counter with a dull clack. He stared at me like I'd spoken in a foreign language. "I'm sorry," he said, laughing, once sharp, disbelieving. "What are you talking about? I don't want to marry you," I said, voice quieter than I intended, but firm. He blinked, then shook his head. "This is about the boring thing, isn't it, Ava? I told you. Joke, joke. Why are you so sensitive?" "It wasn't a joke," I said. "It was honest, and it showed me exactly how you see me." "Oh my God," he groaned, dragging a hand down his face. "You're seriously doing this? Ruining our life together because your feelings got hurt over one comment?" "It wasn't one comment," I said. "It was years of little cuts." He scoffed. "Stop acting like the victim. You're leaving me because—" He paused. Then his eyes narrowed. "Because of him, aren't you?" I stayed still, silent. Ethan's expression darkened. "Holy crap, you're seeing my brother." "I'm not cheating," I said immediately. "But yes, there's someone else. Someone who makes me feel heard. Someone who treats me with respect." His jaw clenched. "My own brother." "He treated me better than you have in years," I said softly. "That should tell you something." For a moment, all he did was breathe loud, sharp breaths, the kind he took before saying something he couldn't take back. And then he exploded. "You unbelievable piece of garbage!" He grabbed the coffee mug on the counter and hurled it. It shattered against the wall behind me, ceramic shards scattering like angry confetti. "You're going after my brother. You're throwing away 4 years for him." "I'm leaving because we don't work?" I said, raising my voice for the first time. "Because I don't love you anymore. Because maybe I haven't for a long time." "You're pathetic," he spat. "You want to be with the boring one, fine. He's nothing. I made him. I made him interesting by comparison." "That's exactly the problem," I said. "You think everything exists to make you look better?" His face twisted in rage. "You're going to regret this. I swear to God, I will ruin you." There it was. The truth. The part of him he never let people see. I didn't move, didn't flinch. "I'm moving out today." He blinked, thrown off. "What?" "I packed last night," I said. "It's all in the car." He stared at me, eyes wide, jaw tight, like he couldn't understand how the script had flipped without his permission. "You can't leave," he hissed. "We're engaged." "Our families will believe whatever story you feed them," I said quietly. "They always have." "You're unbelievable," he said, storming past me. "Absolutely unbelievable." He slammed the bedroom door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. I exhaled shakily, grabbed my purse, and walked outside. For 10 minutes, I sat in the car, gripping the steering wheel, letting the tremors work their way out of my hands. Then finally, I drove. I found a temporary sublet through a coworker. Small, month-to-month, nothing special. But when I put my suitcase down in that room with creaking floors and mismatched furniture, I felt something like oxygen return to my lungs. The peace lasted about 30 minutes. Then my phone blew up. "Ethan, you're destroying everything. My parents are devastated. My mom bought her dress already. You're heartless. Answer me." Then Ethan, "I told everyone you cheated with my brother. They all know what you really are now." My chest tightened. Then came 8 missed calls from my mother. Then 5 from my dad. Then messages from people I hadn't spoken to since college. Did you really cheat with your fiancé's brother? Wow, Ava? Just wow. I didn't answer any of them. Then came the vendors. The wedding venue. Your fiancé told us you're working through things. Is the wedding still happening? No, it is not. $800 deposit, non-refundable. The caterer. We already ordered specialty items. We can refund half. Another $1,800 gone. The florist. Sorry we put down payment on blooms. Deposit lost. Photographer. We can refund everything except $500. One small mercy. Total financial fallout in less than 48 hours, over $11,000 gone. And then, of course, the lease drama. Our apartment contract was in both our names. He stayed in the apartment. I moved out. The landlord called me. Your fiancé says you still need to pay half the rent. He's living there alone. I said, why should I pay for a place I don't live in? Because your name is on the lease. I'll pay my half if we both move out, I said. Or if we break the lease early, but I will not pay for his bachelor pad. The landlord sighed. I'll let you two work that out. We did not. That night, Ethan showed up outside my sublet, ringing the intercom non-stop, demanding I come down screaming about how I'd ruined his life. My temporary landlord slipped a note under my door the next morning. Please manage your personal drama or find somewhere else. Perfect. So I filed a police report. The officer treating it like a chore didn't help. Sounds like a domestic situation, ma'am, he said, barely looking up from his clipboard. If he comes back, call 911. Here's your case number. Later that week, Ethan tried showing up at my office. Security escorted him out. He yelled that I stole his brother. The security manager banned him from the building. It should have felt empowering. It didn't. It just felt exhausting. Through all of it, Liam checked in careful, gentle, never crossing a line, until one afternoon, my phone buzzed. Me. I think I'm catching feelings for you. Tell me that's crazy. I sat there, heart hammering. Then I typed, not crazy. I feel it too. Me, but we have to do this right. Liam, I know. I just needed you to know. And for the first time in weeks, I exhaled without feeling pain in my ribs. The message arrived late on a Friday night, right when I'd finally begun to feel like I could breathe again. A new number, but the tone was unmistakably Ethan. Tomorrow when you show up with him, everyone will see what you really are. I hope you're ready. A threat dressed like a prediction. I took a screenshot and sent it to Liam. Me? Your brother is planning something for brunch. Liam? Of course he is. Liam. Still want to go. Me. Yes, I'm tired of hiding. Liam. I'll be with you, whatever happens. I stared at those words longer than I needed to. The monthly family brunch was always at Ethan's parents' house. A big, perfect suburban place with too many decorative pillows and the faint smell of vanilla candles that never quite left your clothes. Liam parked the car in front of the driveway. For a moment, neither of us moved. Ready? He asked. No, I said honestly. But let's go anyway. We walked to the door hand in hand. His father opened it and froze. His eyes dropped to our clasped hands, his mouth tightened. What's going on? He demanded. Liam's voice was steady. Dad, can we come in? There was a long, tense beat, then his father stepped aside. We walked inside to the dining room. Ethan's mother was setting out plates. Ethan was already there, sitting stiffly at the table, wearing a white button-down his sympathy uniform. When his mother turned and saw us holding hands, she actually dropped a plate. It shattered on the hardwood floor. What is he doing here? She snapped, pointing at me like I wasn't standing right there, like I was something tracked in on someone's shoe. We're dating, Liam said plainly. We're telling you that in person. Silence. 5 seconds of thick, suffocating silence. Then Ethan started laughing. Not normal laughing, manic, high-pitched eyes wild. Oh, this is perfect, he crowed. This is absolutely perfect. Ethan stopped. His mother hissed. No, really, he said, leaning back with a mocking smile. Dad, Mom, see, I told you. I told you she was cheating on me with him. You didn't believe me. I never cheated, I said calmly. I ended the relationship first. Oh, please, Ethan scoffed. Semantics. I felt Liam tense beside me. His thumb brushed my hand, once subtle grounding. You told her to date me, Liam said quietly. Remember that you said we were both boring and made more sense together? Nee. His mother's head snapped toward Ethan. You said what? It was a joke, Ethan barked. Just a joke. I heard it too, Liam said. It wasn't a joke. You meant it. Ethan pointed at me. She manipulated you. She wanted an excuse to run to the boring brother. The only manipulation here, I said, was you telling me I should date someone else 3 months before our wedding. It was a joke. He repeated, voice cracking now. His mother turned to Liam. Why would you do this? She's your brother's fiancé. I corrected gently. Not anymore. His mother ignored me. Liam, this is betrayal. This is family. At that, something in Liam snapped. Family, he said, laughing once in disbelief. You want to talk to me about family. You spent my entire life protecting Ethan from consequences and pretending his cruelty was just teasing. His father's face hardened. Watch your tone. No, Liam said, voice steady, cold, the calmest I had ever heard him. You watch yours. The room went dead silent. Then Liam continued each sentence like a stone dropping into deep water. Ethan has spent years making me feel small, mocking my interests, laughing at my accomplishments, turning every achievement into a competition he had to win. And you both let him. His mother flushed. That's just what brothers do. No, Liam said softly. That's what bullies do. Ethan shot to his feet. You're unbelievable. I was always nice to you. Liam stared at him. You told your fiancé she'd be better off with me because we're both boring. That was a compliment, Ethan shouted. Stable, reliable. God, you're both so dramatic. I almost laughed. Almost. His father finally stepped forward. Even if that happened, he gestured at Liam and me, is still wrong. You don't date your sibling's ex. It's a rule. A rule that only applies when it protects Ethan, Liam said. A rule that has never once been used to protect me. I felt something twist in my chest. The truth of it, the weight of it. Ethan saw it too, and panic flickered across his face. He turned suddenly, desperation bleeding into his tone. Ava, baby, we can fix this. Just you and me. Let's talk outside, please. It was the first time he'd sounded vulnerable. The first time he wasn't smirking. For a tiny fleeting second, I saw the boy he must have been years ago. But that boy wasn't who I was engaged to. No, I said simply. His face crumpled, then hardened. We were together for 4 years. And I tried, I said softly, but you didn't. He stared at me, trembling with fury. You're choosing him over me, I swallowed. I'm choosing the version of myself who finally feels worth choosing. His mother sank into a chair, shaking her head. This is insane. All of this? Nee, Liam said quietly. This is the first honest moment our family has had in years. His father pointed at us. You both need to leave now. Liam nodded. Fine. He turned to his parents, calm, composed, resolute. When you're ready to see who Ethan really is, he said, you can call us, but we're done apologizing for choosing peace. We walked out of the house, hand in hand, leaving behind the shouts, the guilt, the broken rules that never protected anyone but the loudest son. When we reached the car, Liam's hands were shaking. That was awful, he whispered. Yeah, I said, but necessary. He nodded, breathing out. They're never going to forgive me. Maybe not, I said gently. But you're finally free of them. He closed his eyes, and when he opened them, I saw something there I hadn't seen in a long time. Relief. And final update. The aftermath was nuclear. Ethan created a private Instagram full of vague posts about betrayal. He lost friends. His fling ghosted him. Work wrote him up for drama. He moved back in with his parents, who were suddenly much less willing to take his side. Meanwhile, Liam and I moved into a small apartment together. A quiet place, bookshelves, soft light, a balcony big enough for morning coffee and evening peace. No chaos, no yelling, no walking on eggshells, just calm. His parents eventually reached out slowly, awkwardly. Not forgiven, not forgotten, just beginning. Ethan, though, he sent one last text from yet another number, "Hope you're happy with the discount version of me." I blocked it. Didn't reply because the truth was simple. I was happy. Not loudly, not dramatically, not in the way Ethan thought life should be, but quietly, deeply steadily, like black coffee and warm light on a balcony. And honestly, that was more than enough.